Motorcyclists want the latest technology.
At the leading edge of technology is the Enerpulse Pulstar plasma core spark plugs. These spark plugs lower fuel consumption, lower emissions, improve torque, and improve throttle response. The pulse plug looks like a conventional spark plug but has an embedded high-Q capacitor that discharges at gap ionization. Unlike the limited conventional spark plug, the capacitor creates a pulsed power, which is the result of a steady accumulation of energy followed by a rapid release of that energy. The result is a delivery of a larger amount of instantaneous power over a shorter period of time. The dramatic increase in the size of the flame kernel is evident. The burn rate is accelerated compared to the premium iridium spark plug. In this film, you can see the dramatic difference in the plasma forming in front of the flame kernel on the Enerpulse Pulstar spark plug. This is creating a quicker fuel burn. The Enerpulse Pulstar spark plugs are optimal for power sports applications as well as automotive and light truck or medium-duty gasoline engines. This is the 4WD Mechanics Magazine's Honda XR650R motorcycle. The bike is used in the field for shooting HD video. We need reliability both on and off pavement. We're about to install the Pulstar plasma core spark plug in the Honda XR650R engine. This engine has a fresh top end rebuild and is precisely tuned. To avoid damage to the spark plug electrode, we will not use the plug gapping tool in this application. Instead, we'll use feeler gauges and a conventional gapping tool and gap the plug accordingly. Here, we're setting the gap to 41 thousandths of an inch. We bend the ground strap carefully and then check the 41 thousandths gap again. We want the gap as parallel as possible. Now we'll remove the conventional spark plug. Make sure there's no debris around the plug as you remove it. Aluminum components are vulnerable. It's easier to tune and service this bike with the gas tank removed. Here, we loosen the spark plug with our fingertips. The old plug is a dark chocolate brown, slightly rich but fully acceptable. Pulstar recommends the use of dielectric grease on the terminal end of the spark plug for a better connection. We also put it on the ceramic of the plug to get a better seal between the boot and the spark plug. Start and thread the spark plug into position with your fingertips. Use a socket and extension. Use a torque wrench for final torque and keep the extension and the socket on center to prevent damage to the ceramic of the spark plug. 13 foot-pounds is plenty of final torque for this spark plug application. Install the cable and boot securely. Note that the spark plug ceramic is longer and the boot sticks out further. Carefully, without damaging the boot, seat the edge of the boot in the spark plug recess. This completes our Pulstar spark plug installation. Watch how easily the XR650R starts with proper tuning and the Pulstar spark plug. One kick start. Also in the magazine's fleet is this 1984 Honda XR350R, which we use for filming alongside the more powerful Honda XR650R. This is our venerable Honda XR350R motorcycle, about to get a spark plug change to the Pulstar plasma core plug from Enerpulse. We'll start by checking the gap of the spark plug. Honda calls for 32 to 36 thousandths of an inch gap, and the Enerpulse plug is around 33 thousandths, so we do not have to gap the plug before installation in this application. If we were to gap the plug, in this case we would not use a plug gapper, as the electrode is somewhat fine in this particular spark plug. We would use a conventional gapping method and use this tool to bend the ground electrode strap slightly to close the gap if necessary, or open the gap if that were the case. We'll change out this spark plug as we would normally. The Honda XR350R has a deeply recessed plug and requires a special deep set socket available in the aftermarket or from Honda. We will not use a torque wrench to reset the torque on the plug, and instead rely on a traditional field type of spark plug change. Make sure there's no debris around the plug as you remove it, as that debris could fall into the cylinder and cause damage. The old plug has been burning properly. The air-fuel ratio, according to the coloration of the plug, a brown in this case, indicates that the jetting is correct. We're at 4,400 feet elevation, and operated at this elevation, we're getting a very clean burn. The end cap on the plug must be removed, as this insulator and spark plug lead require a threaded end, like this. Install the spark plug carefully, avoiding the risk of stripping threads or knocking debris into the engine. Use your fingertips to start the plug. The hex head size is different between the original spark plug and the new Enerpulse Pulstar plasma core plug. You'll need to make adjustments with your wrench size. With the plug installed properly, the plug cable and insulator are reinstalled and fit just like the original. Enerpulse recommends the use of dielectric grease as a barrier to moisture on the plug insulator and boot. We're about to test this Honda XR350R air-cooled single-cylinder 4-valve motorcycle. Our riding venue begins at 4,400 feet elevation and will go up into the surrounding mountain range and over 6,000 feet elevation. One of the benefits of the Enerpulse Pulstar plasma core spark plug is the more complete combustion, and we trust that this will enable us to make the altitude change without any severe air-fuel ratio issues. We expect this spark plug to make a big difference in this altitude change. The carburetors on this XR350R Honda are jetted for 4,000 feet elevation, and we will be climbing to over 6,000 feet elevation in this test. The surrounding mountain range also provides a load on the engine, and we'll be able to see how the Pulstar plug pulls in this kind of environment. The carburetors on this motorcycle are fixed jet, which makes it even more challenging to adjust for altitude. And we'll see in this riding experience how well the Enerpulse Pulstar plasma core spark plug compensates for altitude. Horses, once native to North America, find their way in these mountain ranges of the Great Basin. Instinct drives this young colt, who's a member of this band. There's a stallion and mares, some pregnant. In addition to domestic livestock, wild horses are using this spring-fed trough of clean, fresh water. In the high, semi-arid desert, this is a vital resource. Honda XR350R and other dual carbureted XR motorcycle engines are allegedly the most difficult to tune and operate. I just demonstrated how well this XR350R runs and the advantages of the Enerpulse Pulstar plasma core spark plug. We climbed from 4,000 feet elevation to over 6,000 feet in 15 minutes, and the bike performed beautifully.